Hey shippers, so this is Euphoria season 2, episode 4/5. I'm going to combine my thoughts and we're just gonna talk, okay? We're just gonna talk. Um, I'm just going to let you know that any problematic thing that Maddie does in episode 6, I'm going to stand beside her. I'm going to stand beside her. It's really disturbing me. Like when I've been seeing videos about Maddie, how Maddie's in the wrong. Nate and Maddie were not together. Cassie's right. Let me tell you something. Anybody that is screaming that Cassie is right, I'm going to look at you like you're sideways. Don't be friends with me. Stay away from me. I don't trust you. Truly. Yeah, like anybody agreeing with Cassie is just a terrible person. And you need to check the people in your friend group who agrees with Cassie because they're most likely snakes as well. Do not trust them. I've been seeing a lot of people be like, "Oh, Maddie's so unlikable. Why do people not like Maddie?" I've been seeing a lot of channels, a lot of YouTube channels, a lot of people on Twitter being jealous of Maddie, and it's okay. Like, just say you're jealous. Just say that you're a bitter bitch and you're jealous um and you're threatened by Maddie, or you had somebody in school that probably bullied you and was pretty like Maddie. Like it's really like the whole Maddie situation. People are like, "Oh, Maddie's a terrible person. Maddie's a mean girl," and I'm like, "Where are you getting that? Where are you getting that? Like, are we not watching the same show?" Maddie's a very nice person. Like, she's good at her job. She's great with kids. She's fashionable. She's on the cheerleading team. She's very popular. She's friends with Kat, who is an overweight girl. She's trans with Jules, who's a trans girl. She loves Rue, even though she's during her recovery. She's very supportive. She's very supportive of her friends. Um, the only person she has a toxic relationship is with Nate. And let's be real, Nate has literally body slammed her against the goddamn wall and choked the shit out of her. Nate has abused her multiple times, and we're mad at and Maddie's a bad person because of what? She's like blind and she dresses a little scandalous, and all of a sudden that makes her a bad person. Someone who loves women like I do, I find that you hoes are just fucking jealous, and it's okay. Like when I see people talk so visual about Maddie, like, "Oh, if I went to school with Maddie, me and Maddie would not be friends." Just say that you're jealous. Just say that you're jealous. Just say that you're insecure. And you couldn't take a girl like Maddie. Honestly, you couldn't take a girl like me. Just say that you were a loser in high school, you were insecure, and you feel threatened by girls who come off like Maddie, right? Oh, but then they gas up Lexi like, "Oh my God, Lexi is the greatest thing in the goddamn world." Like Lexi didn't just kick her sister out of a car when she was at her most vulnerable and left her on the street to let God know what happened to her on New Year's Eve. Like, why are people not? But like, why are y'all pretending like Lexi didn't do that? Lexi is cool. Lexi is a nice girl. Lexi play about to be fire in episode 6. It's about to be fire. But let's be very clear. Lexi's not a good person either. Lexi doesn't speak up for what's right. She lets Rue do these drugs. She doesn't come to her mother about anything. Lexi is a wallflower. She didn't tell McKay that her sister was cheating on him. She's not honest. Like, she just literally sits back, she watches, and she lets chaos ensue. Like, she's a side character, like she says. She didn't even tell Fez that Cal was about to rob him. She just sat there and was quiet. She didn't threaten him. She didn't warn him. She didn't say anything. She just let Cal threaten and come up on in the shop to Fez. Like, Lexi, speak up. Speak up. That's what I'm saying. Speak up. So everybody likes to pretend like Lexi's this angel, but Lexi's not an angel. Like, can you imagine your sister writing a play about your whole family and putting your personal business on Front Street? Couldn't be my sister. Like, there's just certain lines you just don't cross, all because she's jealous of Cassie. Lexi is jealous of Cassie, and it needs to be said. It needs to be said. Hey, Starly. Hey. So I'm just saying what I wanted to say. You can go back in the live if you want to hear. I'm just talking about Lexi. Cause like I just, I like Lexi, let's be real. But Lexi isn't a good person. She's not an angel either. There's no way in hell I would leave my sister, my drunken sister, on New Year's Eve, kick her out the car in the middle of the night. I don't give a damn. And let her find her way back to the party. That's how she ended up with Nate in the first place. Anything could have happened to her. What happens if she didn't even come home? Then what? Like, Lexi does not like Cassie, and there's a lot of resentment there. There's a ton of resentment there, and I think that needs to be explored. Um, yeah, but like I said, getting back to Maddie, any problematic thing that Maddie does, I'm going to 100% be on board with her. I'm going to be on board with her next episode. Whatever Maddie decides to do, I'm going to be on board with it. Feel how you want to feel. Feel how you want to feel. Okay? Um, there's no way in hell my best friend who I knew since kindergarten is going to sit up here and have sex with my ex. The whole Cassie and Nate drama would have never happened if it was for... Exactly. Exactly. This is Lexi's fault. Can we just let that breathe? This is Lexi's fault. And if you peeped in the flashback when Lexi was interviewing people to play her sister, and Cassie's actress came out of the room and she was like, no, too more slutty, more stupid, more sloppy. Like, I can never. Hey, mommy. Talking so loud. I hear you. Sorry, I'm doing a view. Oh. Talking to people online. Sorry. um yeah, she was like more slutty, more sloppy, more dumb, more stupid, and I just was like, Lexi, you're not a good person and you're not a good sister. Like, you could tell she really hates her sister. And like, where does this come from? And she was like, oh, not everything has to be about you, Cassie. Not everything has to be about you. Like, girl, like, it's not about everything isn't about Cassie, but let's be real. If you want things to be about you, put yourself forward. You're the one who is constantly lurking in the background, being your own background character. You you purposely be the background character. You never speak up for anything. When Rue first was doing drugs, you should have told her mom right then and there. When Cal came into the store, why didn't you tell Fez who Cal was? Why aren't you not saying anything? Why are you in the background? Say something. When your dad was stealing from the house, why didn't you say something? Why didn't you? Because she blames Cassie because Cassie was helping her father the first season. But we found out that Lexi also saw the father stealing stuff. Why don't you steal something? I'm sorry. I feel bad for Cassie. I think people need to give her a break. She's been traumatized from every man in her life. I never seen her happy. Very true. But understand, that's my also another problem I have with Lexi. Remember at the cookout and Cassie was walking and she was getting touched on by men in her family and they were touching her boobs and hugging her waist and all that. Her sister was there. Her sister was around. Lexi was around. Lexi saw and didn't say anything. She just perceives her older sister as a slut. Let's talk about internal misogyny between girls because that's a real thing for me. I do feel bad for Cassie, but it's at some point, you have to go to therapy. You have to go to therapy at some point. It has to be on you. It has to be on you because you know something's wrong, you see the problem, and you're not fixing it. It's like Cassie wants to do good, she just doesn't know how to. Every time she gave Maddie advice, it physically made me want to cringe because I'm like, okay, so you're aware, and you're intentionally doing this. Got it. She's intentionally doing it. Am I wrong? Oh, you need someone to love you, somebody who wants to be around you, you know, but yet you're choosing to do wrong. Why? Because you feel like you can't do better. You feel like you deserve this type of love. This is the love you deserve. But Maddie deserves better. And let me tell you something. As I feel, the reason why I say I'm going to stick beside Maddie, there's no way that I could know someone since elementary school, right? And they're my best friend. And they've been having sex with my boyfriend for months, literally since the new year started. And I have been confiding in them and telling them with Nate. Maddie has been telling Cassie when Nate was texting her, then Cassie's been going back and talking to Nate. Right? So she's been playing both sides of the fence. Maddie told me this, and then she's like, "Oh well, Nate said this." Like she's been going back and forth. I think that's entirely sneaky. I think that's disgusting. Like it would be one thing if she was having sex with Nate and she stopped being close to Maddie or told Maddie that she didn't want to really be her friend like that. But for her to go back and take private conversations that Maddie's been having with Cassie about Nate and then going back and using that to Nate, like, you love me more, right? You told Maddie you loved her during text. She told me that you told her this. Do you love me more? I think that's sick. I think it was sick when they were having sex and then he says, I love how disgusting you are. And she was like, I love being your secret. So she likes being the side chick. That's what I'm getting. Cassie likes being the side chick because if she didn't, why would she tell Nate, I love being your little secret? Like the math is not mathing. She told Nate, I love being your little secret. I think Nate also gets off on the fact that Cassie is close to Maddie and he's able to toy and manipulate her. Right? Like, I think that's what's going on here. I think Nate gets off on the fact that he gets to toy and manipulate Maddie. I mean, Cassie. Right? Because on paper, Cassie is perfect. She's blonde, she got big boobs, she's pretty. But let's be real. Who also got big boobs? Jules. Who also is blonde? Jules. Who also is pretty? Jules. Who also is tall? Jules. So he's having sex with Cassie, but he really wants Jules. He really wants to be with Jules. And he is trying to, it's almost like the Cal backstory. Remember how Cal was actively having sex with Nate's mom, but really wanted his best friend Derek? Do y'all remember that? It's the same thing. Nate really is having sex with Cassie, but he really wants to be with Jules and only seeks out Maddie because of habit. He likes Maddie because of habit. He seeks out Jules. He really wants Jules, but he's settling for Cassie. And he keeps saying that if my father died or if my father went away, like my whole life would change. And he's like, oh, my father's the bane of my existence. He's this, he's that. But at the same time, like, if you didn't like your father, why are you keeping his secret? Why are you covering for him? Why haven't you told the mom? Why are you doing all of this for the tape? Why do you need it back so badly? Right? Because really, this falls back on the dad. It doesn't fall back on you, if we're being honest. So it goes to show me that he does love Cal. And he hates his dad because his dad is a reflection of him, and vice versa. That's why Cal hates Nate, because Nate is a reflection of him. And he also feels like if he didn't have Nate, his life would be better, which is a lie. You can't break habit. It's family trauma, family bonds. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, um, Jules, if Jules was going to, let me tell you something. I love Jules, but Jules has been pissing me off. I'm going to say it. Jules has been pissing me off. Rue yelling at um at Jules in episode 5 was literally one of the highlights for me, because I'm like, when are we going to finally address this? Didn't want it to be executed the way it was, but I'm glad that Rue did it. I'm glad that Rue did it, because um Jules, you did leave her. Jules is not in charge of Rue's sobriety, but let's be real, she did leave her. And when Rue said, Jules, you love to be loved, I felt that. Like, we're not going to sit here and pretend like you didn't fall in love with Anna. Like, first it was Anna. Like, it was Rue had to get Jules' attention from Nate, well Tyler, and then it became Anna, and now it's Elliot. You go to anybody who gives you attention, because as a trans girl, you feel like you're not good enough. You want that male validation, and Elliot gives you male validation. You love the fact that Rue is always there when you need her, but you like the thought of male validation. As a trans woman, when he was telling her, oh, you're pretty, oh, you look like a girl, you're this, you're that, he was gaslight. He was gassing her up. But at the same time, he was also hitting her with jabs, because every now and then he'll be like, dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? He'll misgender her on purpose. You know what I'm saying? I love Jules. I love Jules. But let's be real. She was not, she fucked up. She left Rue. She knew what she was to Rue, and she still left her. She cheated on her with Anna. She cheated on her with Elliot. Um, yeah, like I don't understand how you sleep with the only friend that Rue has at that moment, right? You were crying about Rue spending time with Elliot. You felt like she had this whole crush on Elliot, only for you to turn around and sleep with Elliot, all because he gave you male validation. So when Rue said, you do not love me, you just love the idea of me, I felt that. And guess what? In the preview, guess who bed she's sitting on when Rue calls her? Elliot's. She's in Elliot's room. So she's still trying to pacify Rue and say, I love you. I love you. The only thing she could say in that room was, I love you. I want to help you. I love you. I want to help you. I love you. I want to help you. But Jules, you also have a problem because you're addicted to addicts that remind you of your mom. Boom. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Rue having an addiction to addicts who remind her of her mother, right? How you gonna leave your addict girlfriend for an addict dude? It don't make sense to me. Let me tell you something. I got my best life when Rue hit Elliot. I said, I hit him again, sis. Hit him for me. Hit him for me. Beat him up for me. I was so excited when she hit Elliot. When she thumped him across the head, and then he was like, I should have never told you. It's not my place. Shut up. Shut up. You knew exactly why you told. You told because you knew that it would get Rue, it would get Jules to trust you, and she'll most likely be more open to sleep with you than she already was. It would get her to fall emotionally. She'll be emotionally invested to you because unlike Rue, who's a liar, you're telling the truth. Right? So all of this is just very strategic, Ellie. Yeah, Ellie. That's what he calls himself. Ellie. Because Rue was calling him Ellie, and then now Jules is calling him Ellie. Bitch, you're Elliot now. You don't get to be called Ellie. I was rooting for you. And in these last two episodes, I was really rooting for you. I was thinking maybe we could have a cute little polyamorous relationship. Maybe we can have a cute little trio. And then he ruined it. He ruined it. All we got was cheating and lies, and I feel deceived. So yeah, I don't trust you, Elliot. Nate and Elliot are very similar, right? They're like two sides of the same goddamn coin. Nate validated her as Tyler the same exact way. Nate told her exactly what she wanted to hear. You're smart. You're beautiful. Even as he was threatening her, he was gently stroking her face, stroking his hand through her hair, telling her how beautiful she was, how she doesn't deserve to live and to get spit on like a fucking animal and end up on a set. He played the same manipulative tactic that Elliot does. The only difference is Elliot is smooth. Elliot is more smoother than Nate and less psychotic, less psychotic, but equally manipulative. Equally manipulative. And I don't think it's surprising that Elliot said he had a crush on Rue. And we also found out in season 1 that Nate tried to finger Rue in middle school on the dance floor. Can we talk about it? Can we really talk about it? And when this tape come out, you know they're gonna try to hunt down Nate's father, Cal, but Cal is already in California with Derek. By then, Cal will be in a different state because he already abandoned his family. The only people that got to deal with that is Nate, the mom, and Aaron, whatever, and that missing child that nobody seems to want to talk about. The third kid, even though I know it's the third kid because we saw the third kid at the chili contest. Even though they like to pretend that we forgot that there were three of them, there were three of them. Let me tell you something. The look on Gia's face, Gia's over Rue. We got renewed for a third season. Gia is tired of Rue. Um, I'm a little tired of Rue. Um, Gia's tired. Gia's tired. She's gonna end up messing with McKay's twin brothers. She's gonna end up smoking weed and doing whatever the hell she wants to do. She's gonna get far away from this because I feel so bad from the mom because the mom was over there trying to protect Gia while Rue was breaking down the goddamn door. Um, Rue was saying a lot of hurtful shit, but let's be real. Rue is not only a drug addict, I don't think Maddie's trying to kill Cassie. I'm reading this. It says in the trailer, Drew and Nate are in the same car. What do you think this can mean? I think he's trying to give her the tape because the trailer tried to make you think that Maddie is trying to kill. No, I know that Maddie is not going to kill Cassie. If she's going to kill Cassie, she's going to kill her social status. That is the type of shit that Maddie would do. If Cassie got pregnant, bitch, you best believe Maddie is going to try her hardest. The tape will get released. Like, I feel really bad because we saw Jules and Maddie connecting, right? But Maddie is the type of girl who will release that tape and then try to comfort Jules, spin it that the Jacob families are evil. Nate would most likely try to lose his scholarship. He'll lose his status, right? Um, I don't think Cal will go to jail. I don't think Cal will go to jail because on the tape she states that she's eight. She states that she's like 18, 21. Now, is it infidelity? Yeah, but Jules lied about her age. So it is what it is. Now, it's obscene. Like, I don't know what that's going to do because we see Maddie run up the stairs. Cassie going to be a single baby mama. I don't know how to do with that. But if she gets pregnant again, she's keeping the baby. She's keeping the baby. I don't want Cassie pregnant, but motherhood might change her. It might. They said Nate and Matt Jules are in the same car. I think Nate is going to say some bullshit to try to convince Jules that Maddie is evil and Maddie is doing something. Because remember, Nate has the text messages from her to Tyler, right? And he's trying to get her on what was it? He was going to send her to jail for child pornography, right? And even though Jules was sending her own nudes, it's still child pornography. And Tyler technically isn't a real person. And don't forget, Matt Jules did send Tyler to jail, and she lied on the court. And Tyler is still in jail for the shit that Maddie, Jules, and Nate did. They all of them lied on Tyler. So I don't know what's going to happen, but Nate can coerce Jules into doing what he says, getting rid of Maddie. I don't know. Like, obviously, she's not going to kill her, but they made it seem as though you see the CD. I think Nate is trying to give it to her. I don't know. This episode 3. Yeah, I think that if anything, Nate still has the documents that Jules committed child pornography, and he's going to try to get her arrested for that. I think, but he's definitely going to try to use Jules. But shit, all Maddie has to do is upload it to the internet, the World Wide Web, and there it is. There it is, not blurring out their paper. Nobody has to know she did it. Nobody has to know. And guess what? Fez knows too. Fez knows. You know what I'm saying? Fez knows. Um, I can't wait for Kat to break up with Ethan. I think that's long overdue. I'm over it. Um, but I think it's very realistic. I think Kat is confusing fantasy with reality. How is Nate? How is Ethan going to be interesting and be what you want him to be if you do not tell him? Tell him you want some excitement. Tell him you want passion. He can do that for you if you are vocal about it. You're not, right? You're not. But sometimes people just don't have chemistry, and that's okay. But I think the problem with Kat is she reads too much fan fiction. She watches too much anime. She thinks she's gonna get a nosebleed or something. But this is the real world. It's not going to be like Game of Thrones. Nobody is dueling for your honor. This is the real world. We live in the 21st century, right? It is not going to be like a movie. It's not like Titanic. It's not like The Notebook. This is real life, and I think Kat needs to get over that. You're confusing fantasy with reality. You're so used to people not finding you physically attractive that you shut them down before they can like you. The fact that Ethan likes her makes her hate him because she doesn't like herself, right? It's like, girl, this is not a fan fiction. And plus, if you want to have spice, if you want to have passion, you need to be vocal about that. You can't just expect someone to fill in the blanks. Like, people are not mind readers. You have to talk about it. And I have a strange feeling that Ethan is going to get the part of Nate in the play. And let me guess, if he plays Nate and he plays Nate right, Kat is going to be all over Ethan. That's what I feel like. I feel like if Ethan starts playing toxic on the stage, she's gonna want him back. I hear they wanted to give Kat an eating disorder, so she got offended and had an argument with the team, as she should. Um, if they did, I wonder how that storyline would have went. I feel like you need to separate fantasy from reality when it comes to Barbie, who plays Kat. It says, on one hand, I get it, but on the other hand, I don't. Like, this is euphoria. Like, this is euphoria. Let's not act like eating orders don't happen amongst overweight people. I would be offended, yes, but if we are going off of the story of Kat as the character, Kat is has a lot of false confidence. She's like Lizzo, right? She's like Lizzo. Um, she overcompensates and she does the most with the leather pants and everything, like how Lizzo be twerking on Instagram for the validation. She tries to do the most to prove that she's overconfident when really she's the most insecure person on the show, right? She has this false confidence, this false body positivity. I feel like she should have let the writers do what they do because the way they're doing Zendaya's story of her being a drug addict, I feel like they could have did Kat's story of her having an eating disorder justice. Honestly, I think if some girl who is overweight saw the show and saw what Kat was going through and was able to see herself during this time, I think this could have potentially helped someone. I could be wrong. Like, I understand getting offended for your character and getting very attached to your character, but you have to understand that you are an actor. You are just an actor. You can have input. You can say what you would like to see, but at the end of the day, you are still an actor. And if it is an eating disorder, I would like to see how they would make that happen in the story. Like, how would Kat having an eating disorder affect her story and her character growth? Because that's a hard thing to get out of. You know, Euphoria is always about addiction to something, whether it's sex like Kat, whether it's possessiveness or controlling or OCD like Nate has. It's always about something. The characters are always dealing with something. I wonder how that story would have went. Honestly, wow. I feel like they also cut her scenes because she refused to do it. I wonder how the script would have went. Like, I know people are mad about it, about finding out about the eating disorder. But honestly, I want to see what it would have been like if she really did have an eating disorder. That would have been interesting to watch anyway, because it's so heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. And I never seen an eating disorder story go well or well written. And I would like to see the heartbreakingness that comes along with that, and her developing real confidence. I would love to see it. Honestly, I don't know. I'm kind of here for it. I'm kind of here for it because I want to see them tackle real topics. And Euphoria, I do. Um, what do I want to talk about? Rue needs that suitcase. Okay, I don't know that lady's name, the Queen Pen, but she was so creepy to me in episode 5. Absolutely creepy. Um, Everybody is on Twitter talking about, oh, she done good and she was trying to help Rue. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. She was not trying to help Rue. I knew something was off the minute she was like, "Oh, I never get angry and I wish you came sooner in the week." And she started talking to her. She was like, "I only have morphine." And we see her open this bag full of all these other different type of drugs that she could have gave Rue. But she decided to give her morphine. And guess what happened? She gave her the morphine and she injected it into her arm multiple times. But Rue has crackheaded strength. And we all know that Rue was literally just, she woke up. She didn't expect Rue to wake up like that. Yeah. Hey. Hey Willow, honey, 12. What is it? You thought, yeah. Yeah, that was so disturbing to me. And then she's like, "Hey, honey, you want a bath?" She was trying to get her clean. She wanted her physically clean because she knows that she'd been in the trash can, she'd been running, she'd been sweating. She needed her to be physically clean because that following morning, guarantee you, if she did not leave, she was going to get sold. She originally wanted to sell Rue. She originally wanted to sell Rue. And what I picked up on the story was she was like, it's a good thing about being a woman because you always have something that somebody wants. And it's something about women that gives me that creep factor. It's like with men, they're creeps. But when it comes to women, it's the maternal instinct. It's okay, honey. Take your clothes off. Let me help you in the shower. Let me do this. It was like she was pulling Rue into a false sense of security, and I found it absolutely disturbing because it was absolutely a lie. Everything about her was a lie. It's okay, honey. Let me help you take your clothes off. Let me help you get clean. She was helping her get clean because she was going to sell her the next day, and she needed her to smell good, to be clean. And then she dressed her. And then she put her in the bed, put a lock on her window, put a lock on the door, put a lock on everywhere. Right? And she was gonna sell her off. And that's scary to me. That false sense of like security, like that motherly instinct, knowing that this is a wicked person. This is You're dealing with a wicked person. At first I was like, why would Rue go there? And then it was like she had no choice but to go there because she was trying to throw herself at the mercy of the court. Like, I don't have the money, but I have 2,000. I can give you this. And she was trying to. Rue was playing a mixture of temper. Absolutely, absolutely. Rue was running off of adrenaline, and she had that crack-headed strength. She was like, "Do not play with me, play in the streets." She took that shit seriously. She was running through the streets. She was jumping on the table. Miss Mamas was hiding under beds. She was sneaking into garages. She was stealing from feds. She was causing chaos everywhere she went. Everywhere she went, she was causing chaos, right? And the whole time she's going through withdrawals. So she has this extra boost of just energy. And then we see at the end she starts to crash. Like every her focus starts she starts focusing in and out of like the bird in the cage, which I think was great symbolism. The microwave beeping, which is like time is running out. She start focusing on the locks on the door, almost like she's trapped in. It's very claustrophobic. You know, the whole episode was claustrophobic. You know what I'm saying? And it was just crazy to me. Now, she needs to tell Leslie. She needs to tell her mother what she done. Be like, listen, mom, that suitcase, you need to tell me where it is. Because if you don't, they're going to take me, you, and Gia, and they're going to do something to all of us. Because she most likely knows where I live. That's what Rue needed to do. But Rue couldn't do that at the time because she was going through withdrawals. Yeah. Rue couldn't even properly convey to her mother why the suitcase was so important because she was going through withdrawals at the time. And then people tend to forget that Rue has been put on drugs since she was a child. Rue suffers with bipolar disorder and she suffers with OCD. So she can't focus, which is why she kept in. And when she was in the like drug dealer's house, her eyes kept zooming in and out, and things kept becoming background noise because she couldn't focus. She couldn't focus. Rue always needs drugs. Rue needed drugs since she was a child, and it's very hard. This is why you do not pump your kids with medication when they're kids. You don't stop drugging your kids when they're babies, right? Rue has always had medicine because of the things that she suffered with mentally. And now that she deals with dibbles and dabbles with other drugs, she has become an addict. Like it's nobody's fault but her parents. Like, why are you drugging this 3-year-old girl? Simply because she cannot focus in school. She's a child. You need to teach her to sit down and be patient. Like certain things you need to gradually work with. Rue is bipolar. Rue suffers from OCD. She has a focusing disorder. They said that in season 1 that she has to be on drugs in some shape or form. So how are you going to cut your daughter off cold turkey? It doesn't work like that. She technically needs drugs. And you don't cut an addict off like that off with nothing else. You just don't. You don't cut them off cold turkey. You need to gradually stop them. Gradually get off of it. Kind of like what Cassie said, one step at a time. Her mother's a drunk. One step at a time. You need to slowly do it. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what effect that's going to do on her mentally. Like, um hopefully they didn't flush everything down the toilet because she really needs that suitcase. And I wish she would call Jules and tell her, Jules, you need to tell me where that suitcase is because a queen pen, I owe that woman 10,000 K, right? Bitch, and I don't even care if her and Jules are not in a relationship together at this point. Jules, you need to come up with the money because you sat up here and decided you sat up here and you decided that you were going to help my mother get rid of these drugs. You gonna help me come up with the money, or I'm telling everybody location. I'm telling all my friends where I'm telling everybody where they live. Cause if y'all all gonna have an intervention and get rid of my drugs, bitch, these people better they're coming after everybody, not just me. You know what I'm saying? Oh God, this episode 6 about to be a whole mess. I don't even know how to feel. Just a whole mess. Just a whole mess. All I know is Lexi play about to be fire. About to be beautiful. It's about to be fire. It's about to be like the end of Euphoria season 1, episode 1, all for us. We're gonna have musical. We're gonna have top tier acting. We're gonna see fake ass Nate Jacobs. We're gonna see the love triangle unfold on the screen. We're gonna see Elliot and Jules together, which I am not here for. I'm really sick of Elliot. Like, I don't understand how I went from loving him to hating him so fucking fast. But it's because I don't feel like what he does is genuine. I don't feel like it's genuine. I think he's sexy. I think he's fun. I think he's witty. I just don't think that he is. I think he's just a fake ass bitch. That's what I feel like. And I don't know why I can't shake this feeling. I don't know enough about Elliot. And something about Elliot just don't sit well with my spirit. I feel like Elliot is just like an intruder that's just here to fuck up this lesbian relationship, and it just really is upsetting me and my homegirls about it. Like, I'm just really upset about it. Like, I'm just not here for it. The actress who played Jules looked absolutely beautiful sitting on that couch. I was like, Zendaya, you look a whole mess, and Jules is over there looking gorgeous. Jules was looking so good. Miss Mama's had on that fucking white little that white sweater with the bangs and the bob. She had the bob on, and then Elliot was sitting over there with the black hair and the blonde. He was looking good on the couch, looking sad but looking real good. And I was like, Rue, you look a mess. You look a mess. You breaking down doors. I know you hot. I know you embarrassed. I know you embarrassed, girl. I know you embarrassed. Like, Jules was looking absolute fabulous. Maddie, her shoes was looking good. Cat always looked good. Everybody says something about Cat being overweight. Oh my God. Barbie is absolutely gorgeous. The whole cast looked good. The whole cast looked good. It was so nice to see Cassie in some jeans and some white sneakers and a big sweater. It was just nice to see her, no makeup. She just looked real pulled back, covered up, just like I like her, and just real beautiful. Just real beautiful. I'm about to head out, y'all. It's your girl Naya here, and peace. Those are all my thoughts on Euphoria. We will be here back for season 6. Love you guys. Bye.